I've changed my environment. I've changed the people that I'm surrounding myself with. And you mentioned, being able to receive. You can't receive with a closed hand.
You can.
I'm
You gotta be
open to
open.
receiving,
Yes.
and you get more where you put your energy. You get more of that.
Because we are walking energy. So it's I believe that if you open your posture, open up your shoulders, open up your hands, and like be very, very welcoming.
Yes.
Like, let's go, let's do this. It's gonna come to you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Rebel Show. I'm Bree Mesquit, and today I have a very special guest on. As you can tell, we're not in my normal studio space. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Eva Eckert, and we actually met at Blackside Ranch at Operation Blacksite, which is a special event for entrepreneurs in Temecula, California that's put on by Dan Fleischman and Bedros. So that's where we met. And I was really, really impressed by her and her family. She had her 2 children along with her. And we got to know each other a little bit, but I'm really looking forward to getting to know you more today. So for those who don't know you yet, do you mind kind of giving a little bit of your background?
Bree, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. This is an incredible podcast. So make sure you're sharing with your friends, sharing with others. And thank you again. Yes, this was such an instant connection, right?
Yeah.
And then it shows you exactly to speak up, to really be interactive with others.
Yes.
That's important, because let me tell you, when I actually was going to this Operation Blackside and I was journaling about it, I'm like, I have to go with an intention, because sometimes we get so into the lessons, the self-defense, the shooting
Yes.
guns, it's all amazing, but I sometimes forget to interact more with people. And this time I'm like, I gotta interact a little bit more and find out more about people. So yes, I'm Eva Eckert. I am Operate to Dominate Peak Performance Coach, and I coach women around the world to help them become really, I would say, become their own freak selves. So the freak stands from having the freedom from your past beliefs, create the freedom of the lifestyle that you wanted to live, and become the role model, have an enthusiasm, great attitude, positive mental attitude, and the K stands for kill. We're not killing anyone, guys. We kill the procrastination. That's something that we gotta kill. We all gotta kill.
Yes,
and no matter what it is, like even here in the studio, right? We were talking about it, that it's a little bit nerve-wracking when you actually go on the show, and because it's live. You gotta speak, you gotta communicate. You want your best. That's what it
absolutely.
is. So kind of giving yourself that grace and exhale and just let's go.
Take a deep breath. And one of the favorite things I like to tell my audience too is do it scared. Like, what if it doesn't equate to death? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? Like, let's do it. You're always going to grow from new experiences and pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. So I think that's super, super important. So I appreciate you being here. I'm really excited to get into some of these questions. So the first question I have for you is that you mentioned when you first came to the U.S. that you had felt a little lost and you struggled with finding your purpose. So can you share some of the mindset shifts that you needed in order to break through that and start on the path to the success that you have today?
Yes. So it's been so many years since I've been in the US, and I came as a very young girl, and I came with a thought of making money, Brie.
Okay.
That was it. So as Napoleon Hill says, always, have the vision board. I did not know that I have a vision board in Poland. I put a map of America. I created literally an email address, Sacramento@yahoo.com. Nobody sends me an email. I don't check that email right now. And Sacramento written with K, not C. So I remember, like today, having that vision board and wanted something out of my life. I didn't grow up being poor. We had everything what normal family would have. We had the love. I had grandparents. I had a very small family. However, there was something inside of me that was saying, you meant for more. You can't just settle to get a job, get married, have kids, and that's it. There was some kind of curiosity in me. I'm like, there is more outside these walls of Poland.
Yeah.
And maybe because I grew up in communistic country in the beginning. Maybe that was the reason. I just wanted the colors. I want something else. So when I came to US, the primary motive was money. So I was working in jobs that I shouldn't.
Okay.
But here is the thing. To those of you that watch the show, that listen to us right now, I think you need something like this in your life. Meaning you need something that it wasn't meant for you. So you know that you shouldn't be doing it, because this was exactly in my face.
Yeah.
I was doing everything. Yes, I was making money, but I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel congruent. I wasn't doing what I supposed to do, because I left the country when I was in the middle of my university. I was studying physical education to become a teacher. But like I said, I wasn't congruent. I wasn't working. I stopped working out and I felt kind of lost.
Yeah.
And I remember doing that one specific job. I'm not going to call it what it is. We're going to keep this name a secret.
Okay.
But I remember taking a break from that job, being on a break. And I was sitting in that room and I felt like, God, I feel depressed. I am not meant to be here. And that moment changed me. And when I came home and I already was dating my current husband, I was dating Steve, and I said, we got to do something. We got to really change what we meant to do. And he was already in business. He was already doing his personal training. And that was the shift that I said, you know what? We have to change. We got to open up our studios. We got to open up our bootcamp and boxing. And that was the shift. So I think you need to be facing jobs that you shouldn't.
Yeah.
But then comes another thing. Like, because I was so into feeling how I was feeling into myself, I was able to recognize, because sometimes maybe people don't recognize this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I bet a lot of people that are listening to the show right now might be like, you know what, this is me. I just go through the motion. I do that job, and I make money, but maybe there is no balance in your family. There is no balance that you have time for your kids. Maybe you don't take time for vacations. Yeah. I coach CEOs, I coach different people, I do one-on-one, I do group coaching, and this thing always shows up for somehow, that people don't have enough balance, that are not being congruent and not going with their calling.
Yeah.
That calling, I call it calling. There is internal thing, whatever the God or universe gave you, it's there, but you need to use the resource. You need to tap into that superhero power within you.
Quick interruption to the show. I wanted to make sure that you are aware of my free 6-week hard waxing 101 course that I have put out for waxers to gain confidence in the treatment room, no matter where it is in your waxing career that you are at. You will also receive a certificate of completion once you complete the course. So visit us online, lashwaxoc.com, and you will click the training tab. Now back to the show. You mentioned following your purpose and your calling. So how, if someone's stuck and they're feeling like, but what is my calling? What is my purpose? What some tools or resources that you have, or maybe it's a mindset shift, or what is it? How would one start to find what their calling and their purpose truly is if they feel like they don't know?
Yeah, I think this is I think the hardest part for a lot of people, because let's think about it. Like, even in fitness, I always kind of connect fitness to life, because a person that, even you've been on a journey of weight loss, which is amazing. How much weight did you lose again?
75 pounds.
Guys,
so far.
We should be clapping here right now.
Thank you.
This is, I hope that you understand, 75 pounds. This is incredible amount of weight.
Thank you.
So if we would go back and you would felt, okay, I feel stuck. You feel stuck because you do the same things over and over.
Yes.
You locked yourself in a box. So in this moment, you got to think, okay, I need to start, first of all, tracking what I'm doing and start seeing, well, you're going to have different outcome, and you got to reach outside of the box.
Yes.
You got to reach out to people. You got to actually start having maybe conversations with people that are on your side, the mentors, programs, masterminds, seeing like, okay, this person lost that much weight.
Yeah.
What has this person done, right?
Yeah.
What is this person doing that I can maybe learn from them so I can apply to myself?
Absolutely.
And I think fitness, it's like that foundation. And when we look at people that say, you know, I can't lose weight, I feel stuck. This is exactly like a replica of just lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think but also I would say, maybe for those who feel like this, ask yourself the question, like, what have I solved? Can I help other people solve the same problem? And I would say, because you're facing these struggles, this might be a reason why you're facing them. So you have to flip the switch on that pain and create a solution. Because a lot of times we sit on that.
Yeah.
And when we actually opened up our first bootcamp and boxing locations, we were great trainers, and we have the idea, okay, because we train in a different way, we're going to show people how to properly train and how to lose the weight.
Yeah.
So it came out of something that we've already helped ourselves, and we were sitting on an idea.
Yeah.
And it's just about monetizing it, going for it, being bold, being brave, and go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that you say that, because that's one of the things that's how our whole business has been built, is by, I always say it's like scratching your own itch. I found issues within, now I'm talking more, beauty industry, of course, of being in the treatment room, but there was issues or things and problems that I saw needed to be solved that no one else was solving. So I solved it for myself, and then found that others had the same problem as well.
Exactly. So you see, it's like solving an issue, solving a problem. So ask yourself, what can I solve? And I just recently was helping someone too, through coaches. She was coaching, and she was like not being clear on her mission, who I need to help.
Yeah.
But I said, you actually already are. Maybe you just didn't realize, because sometimes we're doing this stuff, but somebody from outside, it's almost like that's where the coach is, right?
Yeah.
Like you coaching other businesses. It's almost like, feel like a coach is like a drone, because it's a different perspective. So it flies around, has all these different views and perspectives, and can point something that is already there.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, I really like that. I haven't heard that analogy, but it's so true. And I wish I would have started working with a coach a lot sooner. I feel like I would have saved myself I would have time collapsed and saved myself a lot of heartache.
That's what Bezos said, the time collapsing. And I love that word, because it really is.
Yeah.
It's like,
truly.
that's what we've done. When we've done coaching, it was the same. You actually omitting certain mistakes that it takes you longer. So it's like an investment, but a lot of people get stuck on that.
They do.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because they live in that scarcity mindset. I don't have enough money, but the money it's a surplus of money. The money will, we never will use all this money that's out there.
Yeah.
It's just money flows. So once you understand that it comes and goes, and no matter what, have that positive mental attitude, it's going to flip the switch on that.
Yeah,
because if you get stuck in that negativity, the money can't come to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it's the hardest, but it's
absolutely.
all the mindset training, right from the morning, right from the very morning, right?
It really, everything really does come down to mindset. I'm able to see that, like, in the physical now, since we've switched our mindset, and just the results that has brought in over the past year has been, like, absolutely incredible. This is what I've been most impressed with you guys, was seeing how you integrate your family. Like, that's so great. So Eva has 2 children. What's their names and ages?
Yes, Ivanka is 10. And Tyson is 13.
Yeah, and they're incredible. They're awesome kids.
And actually, she's here also in the studio recording little clips. So, yeah, we take them on a ride. And it just kind of started that saying, take them on a ride.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Steve started with me. But it wasn't like this, guys. This wasn't like this. And I want to point this out, that when he first started the mastermind, and actually our first coach also was Pedro. So we are super thankful for him. He's been our friend and mentor for many years. And it's incredible how these people show up in your life. And when you don't take this opportunity, when you don't make that big leap, it might be money, it might be financial that you need to pay. You might never get the same opportunity. Yeah. If I rewind my tape and say if we never done this thing, honestly, I don't think that we would have been here.
Yeah.
I don't think so. And it's kind of scary almost, right? To feel that like this.
That one decision can change it all.
Because I remember, like today, we already opened up our studio. We were almost $25,000 behind rent. We put everything, all our money into it. We felt excited. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Your audience is the same. They start something, they feel because it's exciting, it's new.
It's new.
But then you don't get clients.
Yep.
Something happens. Someone gets sick.
Yeah.
You're not feeling, and it all piles into you. And if you don't have a good foundation of really controlling the chaos that is happening, can suck you in, and that's the problem. That's when you're gonna give up. So you gotta understand that it comes in waves. The life,
absolutely,
comes in waves. The ups and downs, like the ocean. But that was us. And I remember Steve was like trying to find solutions. And I was at that time, I kind of was more into myself. I kind of was like that one, oh my God, we're not going to make it. It's like, that was me. Like, that's how I felt. And he says, it's okay, we're going to do this. So at that time, it was Fitness Business Summit. We went to this the 2-day training, and Bedros was speaking on stage. And I remember Steve turned to me and he says, we don't have this money, but do you think we should invest it? And I said, hell yes.
That's awesome.
It was just not even because I saw something that it's going to change our lives.
Yeah.
So again, it's showing up bold. It's not thinking like literally, it's so hard. You don't have any money. You have barely money to cover your bills.
Yeah.
Or not money at all. And then you make that decision.
Yeah.
So I think that's the hardest for people, because if you don't have it enough, how can you have it even more? So you're like trying to hold on to everything so tight. So you are not able to invest. But that's the moment that you should invest, because it's going to change you, because this person already done it. Absolutely. And so we did it, and it changed us. So he started going to masterminds, but I was with the kids at home.
Okay.
So when he would come, he was the master on implementation. And that's the one thing that I always tell anyone. Implement.
Yes. Yes. It is one thing to receive the information, but it's going to do absolutely nothing for you if you don't implement it.
What have you changed recently with you? Was it?
Oh my gosh. I'm just taking opportunity as they come, and I'm doing things scared. I'm not allowing myself to get in my head. I've changed my environment. I've changed the people that I'm surrounding myself with. And you mentioned, being able to receive. You can't receive with a closed hand.
You can.
You gotta be open to receiving, and you get more where you put your energy. You get more of that,
because we are walking energy. So it's I believe that if you open your posture, open up your shoulders, open up your hands, and like be very, very welcoming.
Yes.
Like, let's go, let's do this. It's gonna come to you, and that's what happened. But when Steve was going into this masterminds, he would come and implement, right? And I would be like, okay, what did you learn? And he did not have the time to explain it to me.
Okay.
So what happens is, like, he was here and I was here. He was going faster.
Yes.
And I was trying to catch up, and I couldn't. So I started feeling like I'm like, what can I do? I did not feel good.
Yeah. Were you feeling like you were being left behind a little bit?
Yes, that's what I felt. And I felt like he's learning. I'm like totally behind. And I am this kind of person that I need to be like shoulder to shoulder with him. He will be like, oh my gosh, leave me alone, because I want to learn. I want to know. Like, please take me.
Yeah.
And he said one day, I remember he said, you guys coming with me. So we took the kids. But before I was able to take the kids, I had to plan it, because we would go to a hotel, 2 days of training. How are we going to handle this? As a woman and maybe entrepreneur, you have a spouse, you want to take your kids along for the ride. Well, I found websites that organizes the babysitters in the hotel. We would have babysitter coming at 5 a.m. because we need to work out. And another shift would start in like 3 in the afternoon. And the second babysitter would stay with the kids until 8 or 9, because sometimes it was a dinner or something else. So I planned it all, and it felt better to have them there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even though maybe we didn't spend the whole day long with them because we were at training, but we were able to meet them for lunch and hang out with them, put them to sleep. And it felt like we would also make a family vacation out of them. Maybe we would stay for another day, maybe 2 days. So we would explore the area and do these things. So
I love that.
I strongly recommend that. And I think a lot of times women think I can't do that.
Yeah.
But if you can't do this, you won't. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So you gotta think, I can do it. So what is the solution? What can I do to help myself? And you're gonna be surprised to find the resources that are available.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. It's funny you mentioned that, because we're just coming off of, being at our trade show for the past few days. And it's really hard being away from the kids that long. And we're chatting in the van on the way over here, like, how can we implement them more into this and make them a part of it? And that's a really cool resource. Way to do that.
So there are a bunch of websites that you just need to research based on your city, and you're gonna find them. They have a background check. It's really amazing that services like this exist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's the vice versa. You gotta think, okay, what's unique about me? How can I create something different and for me? So we took became like a kind of like a thing that we just travel everywhere. Not only now we travel with the kids, we take the dogs too. And from one dog, now we have 2 other dogs. So it's like a zoo, coming along. It used to be hamsters too. The hamsters and the snake. So it became like a crazy family. Awesome. That's what it is. So we travel, and they became part of our businesses.
That's awesome.
And they help. They get involved. Yeah. And but how we involve them. So I think that's really important to say. Like, well, obviously we took them out of school. So that's the thing that we decided that was the missing puzzle, because with all the traveling, with everything that we've done, we were like, something is missing. And it was missing because each time we would come back from a business trip, we would get a letter from school. And it became hard, and it became like kind of nerve-wracking. And I'm like, we can't do this anymore. So we pulled them out of school. And I think for us, it was the best decision that we have done it. But I think a lot of times entrepreneurs are scared for that. Yeah. I think we have in the back of our mind, we are like the ones that create and we are outgoing, we're going for it, but yet as far as going the education goes, we still a little bit locked in the old ways, because we worry that we're gonna mess up our kids.
Yes, absolutely, I can relate.
But if we talk about and think about like the old presidents, I mean, they were homeschooled. So years ago, that's what people were homeschooled.
That was more of the norm.
Exactly, that was the norm. So it's like, I think you gotta just let go of being scared. And obviously, some kids and your kids might follow your path, but it not necessarily. They might create their own path out of it. They might help you in the business, but this is gonna be a great foundation for them to even start their business, because in their mindset, it's gonna be like, I don't think that I can be employed.
Yeah.
So it creates that next level that I don't think that will be taught at school.
Yeah.
So that's something that we've realized with our kids, and they've been having a blast. Is it sometimes hard? Sure. Is it sometimes can be stressful? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because maybe they want to do completely something different, and we have a tight schedule, and we got to do this, and we got to go for it. But, overall, it's like, if you would have asked my kids, they would say, I would never go back to school. Yeah. So sorry, school system.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's just incredible. So I'm assuming you guys, you have an RV. You're not flying with your 3 dogs and snakes and hamsters, or how is it that you guys travel?
No, we don't fly. If we travel, I would say we take them. That's what we've been doing with the RV trips. We've been taking all the animals, but sometimes the areas are so hot that the little animals we have to leave behind, and we have ask our friends to literally babysit them. Yes. So it's like, yes, you can. Sometimes you think, can I have it all? Yes, but the first thing is like, ask yourself a question. What kind of life do I want to have? What kind of life do I want to live? And I think from that, you can kind of write down, pinpoint the certain things that you really want in your life, and it's going to be easier for you to create.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, so part of our growth this past year has really been changing our mindset, but then also focusing on our health and fitness. So I want to hear what some of your non-negotiables are for your health and fitness, and someone who's super new, has never prioritized their health and fitness. How can they get started, and where should they prioritize first?
So yes, the fitness goes so hand in hand with I think the life of an entrepreneur. Like, I would almost wanted to ask you how your life has changed since you lost the 75 pounds.
Oh my gosh, I can't even begin. That could be a whole podcast in itself. I mean, the confidence, even showing up and doing this, there's absolutely no way I would show up for myself in this way. Yeah. And
yes. So how you show up in one room is how you show up in other rooms.
Absolutely.
And so tier 4, it's like, if you holding yourself back because of the way how you feel, because you attach this, right? The confidence is not there. Like, how many opportunities are you missing really in your life? So that's what it is. So it's like, the fitness is foundation. You don't need to be a trainer to lose weight. You don't need to be a trainer to get better.
Yeah.
And you just need to create the non-negotiable. So how we can create non-negotiables, right? What is the non-negotiable for our family? It's the workout. But again, some people are like, oh, I start Monday, I'm already stressed and I miss my workouts. It's too late, guys.
Yeah.
So what you need to do, you need to designate a family meeting. Either it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. So we have designated that our time is Sunday. Does it take time? Yes, because a lot of people is like, again, I don't have time. No, you make the time.
Yes.
Like if you would open up your calendar and start, that's what we actually did with our team years ago. They had to track every 30 minutes what they were doing.
Wow.
And what we found out was that these people were missing so much time on nothing. Like literally, when you're gonna realize that you scroll on your phone, you do other things that is really not important, then maybe you're gonna realize, you know what, this is something that I need to do. So we do this meeting. This is a freak family meeting. We sit down outside. Now it's summer. It's warm. California get cold too, and we have to have heaters, believe it or not, and sweaters. I never would used to believe when I used to watch I was living in Poland. Like, why are they wearing sweaters in California? I could not believe that. I am one of them. So I was laughing at the people, and I'm one of them.
So now I'm kind of laughing because we're originally from Southern California. We've moved to Central Oregon, so now we have like a real winter with snow, and I'm like, oh man, this is freezing.
So we sit outside, and everybody comes prepared. So we do a reflection. We have our notebooks. Everybody, like we've been using different kind of. I'm actually gonna give some of your audience the free one as well, and we're gonna talk about it. But it's the virtual one, so you can have a. If you go on Amazon, you can buy. So there's so many different ones. So I don't necessarily need to suggest you one. You can use the one that I have. It prompts you with certain questions. So we talk about. Even if you wouldn't have a journal, gratitude. What are the lessons? What are the struggles that you faced, right? Who you need to help with. And you kind of look and reflect on the week, and then you come prepared.
Yeah.
Because you can't start the meeting if none of us are prepared. We need to have this ready.
Yeah.
Takes about an hour. And our family gets united, gets on the same page, because we also discuss the schedules. So if Steve is traveling, or I had this podcast, he already know that I'm gonna be maybe working out earlier, that I'm not gonna be home. Like this takes a guest out of your whole week, and people don't realize that, but it's just so crucial because you really then save time overall, and then you can realize what you need to work on this week. So that's the meeting that on this meeting we decide, okay, what time we're gonna be exercising. And it's kind of, I would say, set your tone. Like we go Monday, Wednesday, Friday to the gym. The other times are at home. And I think you need to have a plan, and you need to have consistency, and you need to have something that it's not the last moment, because last moment things usually don't pan out.
Yes.
So you need to do this. So open up your calendar on Sunday or Saturday. Take your time. Stop watching Netflix, whatever you're doing. Quit going out and drinking with your friends. Take the time. It's a choice. We all have choices. So sit down and say, you know what? I'm going to start, if you're beginning, 3 times a week for an hour.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But here is another thing I always tell also my clients. It's like, you do this first. You do your workout first before you go out and meet with your friends, before you do other things, because then the other things go and then you ended up not doing it. And that's the stress that you're causing yourself with. So if you want to become healthy, if you want to lose some weight, this should be your priority. And I think planning ahead, coming towards Monday, already prepared and knowing how you work out, when you work out, it's just take the gas out of your week, and you not overwhelmed. I used to hate Mondays because I wasn't prepared. We didn't have these family meetings back in New York. And I remember like today, I was like preparing for my team, everything, but not preparing for myself. And that was huge, because I felt like Sunday was such a stressor for me because I didn't take the time for myself. I didn't really organize my thoughts, my lessons, things. And it's really, we forget. Our brain is so overwhelmed with so many tasks and so many things that if you don't write it down, like you have a notebook in front of you, right? We're going to forget. That's what it is. Like, guys, and I think maybe sometimes people stress about it. Maybe they think like, oh, I need to write it down. Oh, why I cannot remember. Well, your brain can't do 2 things at a time. You can only do one thing. I can't do this interview and think about something else. I wouldn't be able to. So I think people just miss on that. Write this down. have it easier, prepare yourself, and create that non-negotiable. So the fitness is the foundation. Workouts is the foundation. When you do this, you're going to feel better. How have you, like, see your energy level, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've lost so much weight and you feel so amazing.
Oh, so much better. And I'm showing up better for myself, like I mentioned, but also for others. And I'm able to add so much more value to my audience, to you guys. Coming off this trade show again, like seeing how we've inspired, our change has inspired so many girls within my industry. It's really incredible. And then, of course, our kids are inspired and they're wanting to get healthy. They want to join in and work out with us. And it's created like a special new bond between our family too, that we just wasn't there before.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me into another question for you then is how important do you think motivation versus discipline? So or I should say that the opposite way. How important is discipline versus motivation? Because there's going to be, for me, I know many days there's almost zero motivation, but we have definitely created that discipline.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like once you create the discipline, it's just there. The habit is engraved in your DNA. It's like it's in your armor. So in me, it just became my second skin. If somebody would take the skin off and say, "Now you're not gonna be working out," I would feel like a crazy person. I think that's what it is. So I think because you're gonna have not motivated days. You might have a day when you get up and maybe you not feel your best for whatever reason. You might have a headache. You might not feel good. You might, you know, maybe you didn't close a deal. Whatever it is, but then you gotta put your feet on the floor and say, you know what, this is a new day. And I have to do whatever I can as best as I can. And I've had those days. Sometimes I would be sick and I would say, you know what? I can't give up. I'm going to go and do a bike for 60 minutes just to sweat it out, just so I can feel better. And guess what? I did.
Yeah.
So discipline is the foundation because
Truly.
you will have days that you not motivate yourself, you not feel motivated. And I think the reps is what create a difference. So the more you're facing these moments, you realize, you know what, they just there. And I do it anyway.
Yeah.
I just go and show up. I just show up as my best.
Yeah.
And that's why we actually train every day. Because I said, you know, especially women going through cycles and other things, they feel sometimes not good. They have a pain. And then they miss a week or 10 days out of the workouts. It's kind of a perfect excuse because they feel a little bit not good and they're like, I'm not going to be workout. Guess what? I've done it all throughout the whole time. And I've realized that built, again, the next layer of you can do it because you allowing yourself being weak.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think some of us maybe have that within them, that foundation. It's like you're pushing harder. Some of us maybe not, but it's like anyone can do this.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. Anyone can build the discipline and anyone can build the confidence and we all can have a great energy. It's just a state of mind.
Yeah.
It's like, do it anyway, because at the end of the anyway, you're going to actually feel great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it's that road that you're gonna take, and
Yes.
and we train every day because there are days that you go to the gym and you do the workout and you feel like, I put that hard work, but I don't feel as great, right? But you did it,
Yes.
and I think that's a victory because you did it despite the fact that you felt not good.
Yeah.
So how many people that didn't show up, right? How many people that they just decided to hit the snooze button, stay at home, stay under the covers and not do it.
Yep.
But you showing up, you doing it.
Yes.
So the universe will reward you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Layla Hermosi actually has said recently, she said, excuse my language, but she's like, fuck your mood, follow the plan. It's like we rely so much on our feelings so
Yes.
often. It's
Yes.
like sometimes you just got to ignore the feelings and do what you know you're supposed to be doing and do the hard thing. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, life is hard regardless. So choose your hard. That's going to give you the results that you ultimately desire.
Yeah, and then again, you're training the muscle. So it's like a muscle of doing this stuff
Yes,
over and over again. So
absolutely.
that's why I said I always go back to fitness because you train the muscle. You start lifting heavier weights and then the muscle can take that load, right? The same here. Your mindset will take the load.
Yeah.
So start training it. It's all trainable. Because if I would allow myself, feeling like this, I would have never got up. But as I think, like the moment I wake up, I don't allow these thoughts. I really don't. I block them. And I think it's just trainable. So it's like doing the morning routine, having a set up morning routine. When I get up and I say it's gonna be a good day, putting that little makeup on so you feel better. I think women feel overall better when they get their hair done. That's us. And I think it's awesome to connect within you, because if you get up and your hair is all over the place and you're not feeling good already, that's going to add to another layer of not feeling good. So do whatever it takes for you in the morning to get better. Feed your muscles. Get some good shakes, get some good protein, hydrate yourself. I drink warm lemon water the moment I get up, because it's good for your gut, it's good for your digestion. I do my meditation in my thinking corner. We designated these spots in our in our house. I have my thinking corner when I actually sit down, meditate, journal, and then I go to my desk. I go outside with the dogs for a few minutes just to get some sun, just to get some fresh air. I read. I think reading is important too.
Yeah.
Even if it's 5 minutes, because sometimes people say, oh, this morning routine, how long is it going to take? I don't have that much time. Anyone can create their own. We create our own because I might have extra time. But I shortened, for instance, the meditation time. I don't do 10 minutes like I used to do. I do 5. I concentrate on breathing, getting better with my breath work, getting ready with my day, and then journaling a little bit, reading something motivational for a bit, like maybe, 1 page. Like they have those daily readers. We might be reading Daily Stoic or whatever, and thinking about these sentences.
Yeah.
How this can apply to my day. And guess what? A lot of times it's like, you read this and it's like, damn, I needed this today.
Yeah,
this is exactly what I needed.
Isn't that incredible how that happens?
Or you searching for an answer and you open up this book and it's like, how the universe knew.
Screaming at you.
Yes, that I needed this.
Yep.
That's what it is. And I think that's what's going to give you the boost as well. Because if you first open up your phone and start scrolling, you are reactive, but you downloading your own message with other people's messages. So it's like then immediately you go into a moment like comparison, because that's human nature.
Yeah.
We compare, oh, this person has this person, I don't have it, I cannot do this. I kind of block this, and that's why I don't do it, because I don't want to feel this way.
Yeah.
So I pour into me. I pour into my bucket, my thing, like I got to do it for myself.
Yeah.
So I have like less stress day.
Yeah.
And then do I do it later? Sure. But I try to do it to the minimum. But yet again, social media is for us, for entrepreneurs, and we need to connect with others. Like we need to connect with people. So use it for a good way, right?
Yeah.
But have your routines on place. Have your routines ready. Have your morning routines or the evening routines, like that you maybe discuss victories that day.
Yeah.
What happened that day? Like, how was your day? And a lot of times we miss on them.
Yeah.
We miss on these victories. And I think that's the hardest part, because then the next day comes and you forgot how amazing you did.
Yeah, I love that. And you mentioned comparison. I feel like a lot of my audience really struggles with that, especially being in the beauty industry and with, we're so heavily on Instagram as estheticians showing up, and really that's just the day and age now, but watching others and their successes and their highlight reels. So what tips can you give to others about, first of all, being intentional on who it is you're following online? Like, if for me personally, I did kind of a sweep of who I'm following. If anyone elicited any like negative feelings within me, whether it was their fault or not, it totally could be they're just living their lives. But in me, it's like, it just something to feel good when they would pop up on my feed. I did kind of a little sweep and purge of who I was following.
I like the purge. Yeah, I like the word purge.
Yeah. So what advice do you have on that, on how to kind of like help protect yourself from falling into that comparison? You did mention not first thing in the morning. Of course, we don't want to set that tone, but
but sometimes it's natural. Well, if you're going towards it, I think you gotta be just aware of your feelings first of all. And I think, you can always learn from someone, from anyone. So it's like, okay, instead of getting the feeling, oh my God, this is so amazing, I will never do this. This is so amazing, maybe I can do this. Or first think about what are your unique values.
Yes.
How can you, because that's, again, if we do this, you're taking someone's creativity, you're not allowing your creativity to grow.
Yes.
So I think the more you put in from outside, like from social media into yourself, that's how I felt for a while. I felt like unease because I couldn't even think straight for myself because it's all outside.
Yeah.
What the world wants me to think.
Mm-hmm.
And the less is there, the more creative I become. So it's like I create. And then when I create it and I finish, then I can go and take a look.
Yes.
Because we forget about our uniqueness.
Yeah.
And the superhero is within you. You just need to discover it.
Yeah.
That's what I say. So you gotta find the uniqueness, your core values, what you can talk about and how you can talk about. Then you gotta understand that the way how this person is doing the reels or doing something else, not necessarily that speaks from you.
Yeah.
Like I some people are super funny and they would get the funny way, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking probably not me. My daughter would be great with that. So I can use her doing this and recording me, and I can use her ideas or my son's ideas to do that. So I think you gotta just go into your uniqueness and allow yourself to create, because otherwise you're gonna get sucked into the tunnel.
Absolutely.
Of it, and you're gonna lose yourself.
Yeah.
And it's so easy nowadays.
It is.
It's just the amount of information is saturated, and it's so overwhelming, can be overwhelming. So think about it. Like, some people go and lock the phone and they don't look at it for all day, and it's fine. Listen, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Think how it will feel for you. You got to ask yourself, if I'm looking at this in the morning, does this fill me in?
Yeah.
Fill me up? Do I feel more empowered, or I feel deflated like a balloon, and you're not feeling good and you can't create? So it's like really understanding this and then creating a habit out of it.
Yeah.
That's what I do a lot of times. And then I'm like, nope, I'm putting this on the side.
Yeah.
It's time to create. It's time to kill. It's time to go out there and show my message. Because look, for me, it would be very easy. And you might have audience that it's maybe coming from another country. For me, it would be very easy to jump into comparison because I come from another country. English is a second language. My family cracks up. My kids sometimes ask me, what did you just say? They and it's like, if I would not have a thick skin, that would be very difficult for me. But I feel like I'm looking at it as, this is empowering for me. It's like, I have a cute accent, all right?
Yes.
And if I mess up some words, it's okay. It's like loving yourself. I think you need to just love who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the foundation is, besides discipline, having the love for yourself and truly appreciate you as a human being and loving every single moment of it. Because if we are the biggest critics, and if you come out like this, it's so hard to show love to others.
Yes.
Because then you can't show to others if you don't love yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just showing up authentically, it's so important. And you will attract and find your right people too. I feel like we can tend to try to fit into boxes to attract the people we think we want to attract. But if you just show up authentically as yourself, you will attract and help who you're supposed to be helping and adding value.
Yeah. And it's like, if you have a mission and you have a purpose, you have a passion, you know that you can help others. I actually, based on what I was doing before I came to this country, I created the LBBD method, meaning that live it, breathe it, be obsessed, and don't quit.
Ooh, I love that.
It's like, that's like, if you think about it, that's what you got to do. You got to speak up. You got to speak up your ideas. You got to put it out in the universe, and the right people will come to your circle, I think.
Absolutely.
They're not right. They might be there, and you need to purge them. I like that. And remove them. But the ones that are supposed to stay, they will be there. And I think it's okay, because sometimes we get so attached to friends, to people, and we love them, and then out of nowhere something happens and they not in a close circle of anymore. And I think you got to understand it was meant to be.
Yeah. There's seasons for everything, and for people as well, that's included. So how important is your close circle and who it is that you spend the most amount of time with?
Well, definitely my family. I'm thinking like, Steve and kids we spent so much time together. But then I have a community. I have my community. I attend different like workshops and masterminds with other women. I love that.
Which is how we met.
Yeah. And I get into the rooms with other amazing people who can teach me so many things. And I think it's endless and ending growth. That's what it is. Like, you got to understand that the growth is there. You got to put yourself out there, and became almost like a thing that you just need to do these masterminds, joining these different groups. And it's just I think a lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think having a supportive woman by yourself, it's just by your side, is so incredible.
Yeah.
Because then you have that community that inspires you, but you need to have, again, like-minded women.
Yeah.
Because if you come across women that are not really, they live in that scarcity mindset, and they just afraid of doing their own thing, they're gonna kind of pull you back and pull you down, and you unfortunately need to switch the circle. But you need to have a strong community that will lift you up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really changes. And I've been doing this for quite a while, and I just always tell my community, my people, it's like, you need to have this, because yes, you can go far alone, but you can achieve many things with others, right? And I think it's important. It's just you will learn that if they can do it, you can do it. If you see them doing, it's like, you're not alone. And I think the Mastermind Alliance is just the brain alliance that you can create out of meeting with other people, you know, asking ideas and questions, and out of nowhere you might collaborate with someone and create something incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I heard a saying, it was, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
And that's something that we're really focusing on in this team. And this past year is probably the first time that we've really put ourselves in new rooms and attending new events. And it's just incredible. I feel like we've had 2 to 3 years of growth within 1 year.
That's how it feels in the beginning. So I totally get it, what you're saying. That's how it felt for us. It was like just going on like a first slide. It's like, at one moment was, wait a second, is this dream? Is this really reality? Yeah. And I wish more people would be open to this, because people still don't get the concept of surrounding yourself with smarter, paying for coaching, paying for programs. It's still not there. And I think if more people would be open for this, a lot of lives would be changed.
Absolutely. So what would you say to those who feel like they're just constantly being sold on coaching and mentorship and all? So maybe talk a little bit about the importance of it, which I feel like we have been covering that. But then how do you choose which is the right for you? Because there's so much out there now. There's a lot of, like, as Bedros would say, the gurus that aren't necessarily about it, but they're trying to sell you a program.
Yeah, you know what? It's like, it's so interesting, because when we started so many years ago, and we've gone to these even big arenas, and these people were in the audience, some of the influencers, and now I constantly see them across the 15, 16 years of period. And I'm like, these people, I think, are real. They're still there. They still have communities. They still talk about it. And I think I am more like minimalist in a way. It's like, I am not searching for even more people, because I would overwhelm myself. I stick to the few. You know, I listen always to Bedros' podcast. I mean, you can have one coach, really one great coach, and will you learn from someone else? Absolutely. But I think the thing is, like, the more the better. But it's not, because eventually the other 3 coaches will start repeating what the one said. And I think a lot of times the information must be repeated 25 times to hit our brain or so. So it's like, stick in the beginning to one person. Get what you get the most out of it and implement.
Yeah.
Because the problem is that people overestimate events and underestimate action.
Yes.
John Maxwell said that. And it's like everywhere, because I can say in my coaching groups, I can say the same information 10 times, and eventually it's gonna hit.
Yeah.
So be aware how you listen. Like, are you listen well? Review your notes. Did you actually do everything? Because if we go to an event, there's so much information that if you would implement on everything, you probably would create a massive business from everything that it said.
Yeah.
But we always say, pick 3 things.
Yeah.
Okay, you pick 3 things. And then you forgot that there are 20 other things on the list. So how about going back to your notes and reviewing this and going back again? But people instead is like, this person didn't help me. So taking an ownership too, I think. So it's implementation, ownership. Did I do everything? Did I literally explore my options? Did I do everything what this person said instead of maybe looking for another coach?
Yeah. Or pointing blame on them when it was your inaction.
Yes, because any program will work if you want to get A plus grades. That's what it is. If you go all in, more than 100%, any program will work.
Yeah, you'll see the results of your own action.
Yeah. And it's true. There's so many people out there, and people that are coach. Everybody is a coach nowadays, and it seems like, I don't know, maybe because we are in this industry, and it takes time, it takes years, it takes practice, and first of all, living it, meaning walk the walk like the tip of your spear. That's what it is. It's like, be the example. Don't just talk about it, and then don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, choose the person that is really living it.
Yeah. And I think one thing I'm starting to really realize, and my husband and I talk about this all the time, is that like it's the same message, is just being delivered differently, and you're going to absorb differently based on who you can relate with. Like I relate with you because you're married and you have your children. And so I think just hearing the message and implementing on it, and then self-evaluating and making sure that you're staying and following the plan and taking the actions.
Taking the action, because implementation is everything. Like even us going to different masterminds, and we would see people complaining and blaming the program also. And they were not action takers. Yeah,
because you can look at that group, say 20 people go to a mastermind, 5 can like just excel like extreme levels, and maybe 10 they have some growth, and then there's those that are going to complain and say that it was a ripoff and all the things, and it really comes down to, what are you doing after the event, like you've said. Well, then let's talk a little bit about your Female Freak Alliance. I'd like to hear more about that. So I know it's focused on helping women discover their unique purpose and thriving. So what motivated you to create this community, and what do you believe are women's biggest barriers that are keeping them from achieving their highest potential?
Yeah, so I've seen this kind of over and over, and I think this message was almost like for me, and looking at my life, that I came from a different country and I made a living for myself. So it's like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So the beliefs, because I grew up in a family we grew up in a communist country. It was communism. And there was a very small family. And they did as best as they could, right? So a lot of times we blame parents, grandparents, we blame, I heard this, that it's, people are talking about how they grew up. Yes, but these people probably did as best as they could. They didn't have mentors. So my family, like if nobody never told them that there are beliefs that you can change, how they would be able to change their message to me? They wouldn't, right? So my family was always like scared of everything, pretty much. And, like, we live how we live. This is what it is. It's like, you can't be more, have more. It's kind of like this mindset, money don't grow on trees. Those are things that you've heard.
Yeah.
And I think changing the beliefs and kind of blocking yourself from it was what I've done, because otherwise I would have not been able to come here. So before I came to United States, I really didn't tell my family, as horrible as it is, but I was scared of them being scared. So they would scared me. So I completely did not say it until like 2 weeks before.
Oh, wow.
I bought my ticket for complete cash. I remember putting all my savings into the ticket, and I was so freaking petrified that I'm not going to make it because of my family. So I didn't share it. And here comes the thing. It's like, who is in your circle? Who can you share? But again, this was loving family. They just they would be speaking their mind.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is a great foundation. I got to teach these women how to break the beliefs.
Yeah.
And in our communities, like a lot of times the women show up and we always talk about their childhood, you know, and I am not therapist, so please don't take me for one. It's just the experience and what I've learned about myself and about others. That's what we discuss, and it's changeable. So freedom from these past beliefs, freedom to create the life. And I think we always wanted to have the lifestyle that we actually creating now.
Yeah.
And I want to teach these women. So being the role model, having a great enthusiasm, you know, I show up no matter, like, even if I'm scared, I show up like you are. So it's like, because I know that I think the pain of regret would be stronger.
Oh, absolutely.
Than me just feeling scared. And, you know, this comes to another strong message. When I was in my high school, this was back in Poland, I remember I love biology, and I was sitting at this class and we were preparing to pass the test at the end of the high school and get to college. And I already have a college of my choice. And the teacher said, if they gave a topic, she gave a topic, and she says, if you're going to actually answer right now, she put it out in the class, you guys going to have additional grade on top of what you're going to receive at this long exam. And there was like a 4 hours exam at the end of high school. And Bree, I knew the answer. I was so scared that I didn't raise my hand. And I remember like today, this was such an emotional experience on me. And those emotional experiences always sit in us. Like, right, we remember those.
Yeah.
It made an imprint. I felt sick to my stomach going home because I'm like, damn it, why didn't I do this? Like, I knew it and I didn't. So everything in my life is like, I'm freaking scared and I'm going for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm scared and I'm doing it.
Yeah. That seems like a pivotal moment, though. And maybe it was meant to be, because now you have that in the back of your mind. I never want to have that feeling again.
I don't. And I dislike this so much. And I think everything in my life, it's been many times, it's like, oh my God, I'm so freaking scared, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I don't want to have the feeling after when you don't do it that you really meant to do this. It's horrible.
Yeah.
And terrible. I know that people listening right now, they have that.
Yeah.
Like, they should literally write this event. You guys should write this event, what happened in your life, connect emotionally, and say, you know what, I will never repeat this
never
again.
Allow that again. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what we're learning too, is like doing hard things. You kind of raise your thermostat for what you can like endure and take on. So recently we completed Bedros's marathon challenge. We completed a marathon, and it was such great timing because it was so incredibly hard. I wasn't sure if we were going to make it to the finish line. And then fast forward to this trade show, just a short week afterwards, we've hit some of the biggest hurdles that we've had with our business with this trade show, and financially, and a lot of fires to put out. But the whole time I was able to, like, it's okay. Like, we've done, you know, we've raised that thermostat, and we're like, we just know, you just continue to do the hard things, push through the hurdles and the obstacles, and like, it's going to be okay. I'm trying to change my mindset to, if it doesn't equate to death, like, we're going to be okay. Do the hard thing. You're going to recover from it.
Yeah. And you're training yourself. That it's, again, it's a next level. That's what it is. It's like, show up in front of audiences, small audience, a little bigger audience, even bigger audience. And you make those small steps. And this is an experience for you.
Yeah.
And each time you do it, you getting yourself better. But obviously you got to educate yourself. You got to work on it, because it's not happening just naturally. You gotta, it's a hard work, as we know, but you do this and you become better.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very intentional, and preparation is key too. I'm really learning that, as well as preparing and just going through the motions and doing it, and you get better and better each time. It's the sets and reps, right? It's just putting in the reps.
Like, even with the marathon, right? You guys you had to prepare somehow. You didn't just show up for it.
No. Again, we definitely could have prepared a little bit better, but
you see, and that's a learning point. That's a learning message. It's like, so now the next time you're gonna do it, you know already what you need to do.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times people will say, oh, I suck, I am not good at it, and they're not gonna do it, instead of, okay, what did I learn from this?
Yes, absolutely.
But giving yourself that room and grace, and I think a smile for it, it's like, instead of, like, it's a victory, you accomplished this. It wasn't perfect, it maybe wasn't meant to be perfect, and it will never be perfect. You just need to do the reps and make yourself better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it's been so amazing to have you on. I really, really, really appreciate you doing this with me. And I know you have a free gift for everybody. And it's a huge one. I'm really excited. I'm going to be taking advantage of it myself as well. But do you want to share with the audience what the gift is?
Yes. Thank you, Bree, again for having me. Super excited for all of you because we are opening up something amazing for you. It's a challenge. It's a 40-day challenge. So today, after the show, go to freakmode40.com. We also have a freak code coding, okay. So I didn't want to mix that. So again, www.freakmode40.com. And a free challenge will open up for you for 40 days. So what is the challenge all about? We're going to challenge your habits. That's number one.
Yes.
You're going to have a whole infinite freak fitness formula in this package, which is the last workout you ever need to get into the top shape. So it's going to prepare you to go to the gym, to work out at home, to work out with any type of equipment, any type of cardio, any type of strength in there. And we're all going to be doing this together as a one family. So again, your starting date is the moment you sign up. So don't postpone it. Don't procrastinate. Kill the procrastination. You know, yes. Like with the whole word freak, we had the K stands for kill.
Yes.
Kill it. Don't worry if your friend doesn't want to show up now. You do it, and then you can send them the link. So so all the listeners will get that Freak Mode 40 for absolutely free.
That's
and we
amazing.
Are excited. It's going to be amazing because it's going to help you guys to really excel and go to the next level. And not only in your mindset, but also your body.
Yes.
And that's very important.
Absolutely. No, thank you so much for that gift. I'm definitely getting started. I'm really, really excited. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for the first of the month. Get started now. You don't need to wait for a Monday.
Yes.
Today is your Monday.
Yes, today is your Monday. And then we have also the Freak Journal and Planner that
that's right.
Put it together. It took me months and months to put this together. It's a virtual planner. But what is different about it is that it prompts you with different questions every morning. In the afternoon, reminds you actually to drink water because a lot of entrepreneurs don't drink water.
It's true.
And yes, and at the end of the day, you have a reflection, and you also are prompted to do weekly meetings with your family.
I love that.
And then a monthly recap for your month, because this is another thing that I didn't mention, that I've been doing the monthly recaps as well. So I actually look in my weekly meetings and put everything in my spreadsheet, what I have accomplished that day, that month, because I think we forget. Because at the end of the year, in Death Valley, our family meets and we do the yearly meeting. So now how are you going to prepare to yearly meeting if you don't do this monthly? It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's so difficult to get the lessons. So I think it's going to help you guys. And again, it's completely free. It's going to show you also the levels, how you really work that week, where you in a comfort zone and where you're out of your comfort zone. So it's like a fun little game. Plus, there are some other links for workouts as well.
I'm very excited.
So it's really a treat for everybody. You can share with anyone that is listening.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you again. I really appreciate that.
All right, thank you so much.
I'm sure the audience appreciates it. How can they connect with you? And I'll make sure to have everything linked in the description. But how can
definitely in the community. When you guys are gonna join, there is a community, right? Our Infinite Freak Fitness Formula community for the Freak Mode 40. And they can find me on social media at ewa.eckert1.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you. And I will see you guys back next week. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to turn on notifications, like, subscribe, follow Eva, and definitely get started with the 40-day challenge. All right. We'll see you guys back next week.